All right. Can you hear me? I've got a mic in tonight with a headset, so I don't know if it's going to fuck with the sound or not. So if anyone there in the chat, just give me a thumbs up if it sounds okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to be playing a few videos shortly. On water. Sounds good. Sweet as. All right, so who we got here? We got Kingy, Aussie Rick, Fisho, Triple A. Hello, big fan of you and Joshua. Okay. Fisho 1 sounds good. I hope you're good, mate. Hey, Fisho, yep. Just seen ya. Hey, Rick, let it rock. Good to hear, Sarge. Catch you soon. HSV's ready to go. All right, so we'll just I had a power outage last night, so that's why I postponed it till tonight. But the way we got storms coming
right now.
Yeah, we got storms coming, so we'll see how we go tonight. But I'm going to be playing a few videos, and I'm just going to give my commentary. We can ask questions. You can ask questions or anything like that. How are ya? Can you tell Joshua I said hi? Yep, I will. He's sleeping at the moment. He's working tonight, doing the midnight shift, so he's just catching a bit of kip before he works tonight. Hey, Sarge and chat, it's Ash. Hey, Ash, how are ya? Okay, so what I'm going to play is I'm going to prevent, and we'll get into it, eh? And if you want to ask questions throughout it, we've only got 5 here, so I'll probably repeat myself a bit as people come in, and we'll see how we go. We'll add that to the stage. So I'll unmute it, and we'll hit play.
Ладно, давайте быстрее. Дрон нет.
Треба сказати цілом. Так, тепер всі руки забули.
I saw one of your videos and you were in my country in the UAE. How was it there? Love the UAE. Absolutely love it. Nice and hot in the summertime. Very similar. Maybe a bit hotter than the Australian outback in certain times, but UAE absolutely is Mickey Mouse. I went to the resort, out Atlantis, where the water park is. I spent a day out there at Atlantis, and they had the wave thing that was surfing. Hung out at the Dubai Mall. While I was in UAE, I was lucky enough to go to a UFC fight in Abu Dhabi. So, UAE is nice, clean country, safe. Yeah, really good. Who we got here? We got Fisho, Jamal Wong. How are you there? Everyone else in the chat? All good? We'll start playing again.
Azov Brigade fighters are conducting a combat operation in the Touretsk direction. This time, they captured several Russian soldiers who had been left behind on the front line. Russians prefer to hide in basements, so the Ukrainian military had to storm a few of them to flush the occupiers out. Want to know what happened next? Watch our new video through the eyes of the Ukrainian fighters, who are doing everything possible to expel the invaders from their homeland. Azov fighters conduct a mopping up in one of the settlements. The soldiers move cautiously through the rubble.
So watch out for booby traps.
Trying to stay quiet and avoid any unpleasant surprises left behind by the Russians.
But such a dangerous area to clear.
The fighters approached one of the basements. They shouted to the Russians, urging them to surrender and come out. No response. The soldiers spotted a ventilation pipe leading into the basement and threw a grenade inside.
Yeah, drop one down there.
They fired a few rounds to make sure the occupiers didn't even think about fighting back.
Back in the day, if you had white phosphorus rounds, you'd drop a couple of white phosphorus rounds down that smoke pipe.
More gunfire erupts from inside. So the soldier threw another grenade into the basement. Another check to see if anyone was alive inside. Hearing no answer, the Ukrainian soldier went down to make sure that the basement was empty.
Підвал чисто, підвал чисто.
The group moved forward and came across a dead Russian.
It is Jamal.
Ова, тут щось є.
They searched his equipment and found several medical supplies.
Yep, you got to search enemy as harsh as that looks.
Це викидати. Це все треба його перевертати.
Always looking for any intelligence you can gather.
Часи. Ролик, да? Да. Тайський. Да. Треба перевернути 100%. То радійка є.
Kind of Lakey. I'm not here to take sides. I'm just here for my experience and my commentary. 22 years in the Australian Army, and I'm just here to give my what I wouldn't do and what I would do, what I think's bad, what I think's good.
The fighters move on.
And bias.
Можеш там попередити. Радійка в тебе? Плюс. Ні, нам ще треба наоборот. Трошки далі.
They approached the next buildings.
Чисто.
Right.
First warning fire.
I'm not a fan of Zelensky at all. I mean, I think
Then they call out
he's
to
more
see
of a
if anyone
Nazi
is
than
inside,
Putin, but
giving the enemy a chance to
no,
surrender.
I'm just giving commentary on the war fighting
Another
that's happening on the ground.
First, the soldiers throw a grenade inside.
I don't know if they do off camera, mate, because they're third world countries fighting, or Russia's a developing first world country, so they may still use some sort of homemade flamethrower. But flamethrowers are against the Geneva Convention
Then they
generally.
go around it from the other side and fire inside. At the same time, the soldiers check the nearby buildings, firing more warning rounds.
Hey, Aussie Rick, how are you, brother?
Yet another basement, and once again, the same proven tactic. A grenade in, followed by warning fire. A series of powerful explosions, and the basement is cleared.
See, as soon as those grenades go off, I'd have a guy with gas masks would go straight down and clear those. But there could be any type. There could be radios. There could be a drone base where they're setting up drones or building drones. So I'd still go down and clear that for any type of intelligence still.
And here is the encounter with the enemy, who is hiding in the basement.
Выходи. Бросай оружие, выходи.
You
The
think, come out,
Azov
drop your
fighters urge
weapon.
him to surrender to save his life.
Come out quickly, I'll give you my word.
Then they give him clear instructions to leave his machine gun, raise his hands, and crawl out of his hiding place.
Wagsy, they're relative. So in a contained space, they're super powerful, the actual explosive itself. In an open paddock, not so much. You can literally, if the grenade goes off here and you're laying here, and just say this is your toes and your heels and you're laying face down, the actual pressure of the grenade won't affect you. It'll just be the shrapnel. However, if you're inside a confined space like a basement, when that goes off, as you could imagine, the pressure waves condense, so it's going to expel out that through that exit. So it's only got one way to go. So it looks more powerful than it is, but nothing to take away. You don't want a grenade coming down in your basement or your front room, that's for sure. How many grenades did Aussie soldiers carry on them when you was on your tour? I'd carry 2 grenades on every soldier, and if we go on somewhere where we might not have indirect fire support or direct fire support, and the fact of fast air that was too far away or Apaches. And then I'd have certain men with pack grenades. I'd have grenades in C4 and claymores inside our packs, so I'd carry extra. And then if they're going on patrols, we'd sacrifice food and water for grenades if we needed to. But yeah, usually a two a person is the standard. Yeah, like standing next to a cannon. Exactly right, like that. All right, back into it.
We see the Russian crawling out. He is wounded.
He's got a shrapnel wound to the bottom left leg calf.
The Ukrainian military assured him that they would immediately provide him with medical aid.
In this type of war, whether you're Russian or Ukraine, I'm not saying I'm voting for either, but it's up to you whether you want to take prisoners of war. You don't have to. If he was to kill
They
that
also
man
asked
right
his name
now, that's not
and ordered
murder.
to raise his hands behind his head.
That's killing the enemy.
Тримай руки.
Нормально?
So that might shock some civilians. It's up to the commander on the ground. Or if he's got, he might
Inside the
have.
building, the Ukrainian group discovered several more occupiers.
He might have a mission from his commander saying, when you can, you will bring everyone as many POWs as we can, because
Где еще?
the intelligence community wants to do, conduct torture or fucking, interrogation techniques.
Ты приехал.
So you may be under orders, but if you're not, like, it's up to the commander on the ground whether he wants, if he thinks it's gonna, be an advantage to his mission, whether he takes a POW or whether he
They weren't acting aggressively,
shoots them where they stand.
clearly realizing that cooperation might save their lives.
Нормально. Не замерз за сутки лежать на фоне.
Давай выходи,
Yeah, Wagsy.
парни, давайте.
Yeah, it's surprising what it can do when it can press and
More
it's
Russians were
forced to
found
exit
hiding in
from
the
one area
basement.
or two areas.
Второй.
Crazy.
Да. Добро. Там вход завален, ты только так влазишь. Чё? Да, добро. Так давай для уверенности. Стволы в сторону.
Hey, Frack. How are you, mate?
От себя
Good to see you, bro.
They were ordered to throw down their assault rifles and slowly come upstairs.
Да, я уберу, как только увижу, что вы без ствола, потому что ну. Давайте подсаживайте друг друга, мужики, давайте быстрее.
Сколько вас?
He's saying, put your guns down, climb the fuck out, we'll spare your life. And they're
While
like,
some
oh,
Russians
fuck.
are emerging from hiding, other prisoners are being interrogated.
Я шестой. Мы вчера ну, считай, шестером только я там.
I would say questions. That's not an interrogation, believe me.
Заправиться хочу. Просто заправиться.
Давай.
Все нормально. Сколько тебе лет?
19.
One of the POWs is only 19 years old.
Да, да. Сюда.
Judging by the appearance of the Russian soldiers, it is clear what kind of conditions they were in. Their only request now is a
Hey,
cigarette.
Spud.
Просили.
How are you, mate?
Просили.
Hey, brother Sarge. Hey, brother Spud.
Поділися малим сигаретою. Поділися з ним сигаретою.
Так вот где-то они здесь вот лежат сигареты, пачка чуть вонючий доставал.
Мужики, плен или сразу?
Hey, Kingy.
Плен или сразу расход?
Плен.
One of the main questions from the Russians is whether they will be shot immediately or taken prisoner.
He just asked, were we going to be prisoners or are we going to get shot?
Мене ви.
The Ukrainian soldier
I don't
assured
like
them
you.
that they would be taken prisoner because Ukrainian soldiers don't act like Russians.
G'day, Jules. Hey, Fisho. Kingy, Rick, Aussie Rick.
Сюди. Так, тепер ці руки за голову. Вас до... Одну за
Get your
голову.
fucking hands behind your head, bro. I'll be fucking
The
taping those
Ukrainian
cunts up.
troops waited for all the Russians to come up, tied their hands, and prepared them for evacuation.
In an environment like that, all you got to do is pick up a brick and just throw it in the cunt's face and grab his weapon, right?
Туди, в кут.
I mean, I would. You're not taking me.
Ти як турнікет зав'язав. Давай, ти туди.
They once again assured the Russians that they would not be shot, but taken as prisoners.
В угол туда
В угол.
зайдите. Чтобы вас дрон не видел.
I wouldn't trust the Ukrainians. Fuck no.
The POWs were given water to drink,
Что, пацаны, погнали?
Блядь, короче. Давай, быстро води.
Yeah, that's right, Wagsy. Make them uncomfortable as well. You want them so they'll do whatever you say as soon as you say it, no hesitation.
Then led to a vehicle to be taken to Ukrainian positions.
You got two streams going, Sarge. Hang on a second. Well, what's going on? I've got two streams going. What's going on? What's going on? I've got two fucking streams going. What does that mean? Hey, big dog ALC, how are you, mate? Fish 01. What do you mean I've got two streams going? Maybe because I've got this new thing here that says vertical broadcast. I'll fuck that off. All right, let's see what these cunts are doing. So they just grab these Russian prisoners and they're like, get in the fucking vehicle, cunts. So let's see what happens here.
Я думаю, изначально, что вот тут ноутбук, я подумал, с девятки, вот тоже с девятки. Я вот увидел первых украинцев, вот когда нас из подвала вытаскивали.
The fighters of the Hydra unit of the 2nd Mechanized Battalion of the 3rd Assault Brigade confidently move forward in pairs, clearing the Russian positions. They have to make their way through shattered, bullet-ridden trees. In the distance, there's the crackle of machine gun fire, the buzz of drones.
So you don't want to bunch up. So he's talking about bunching up his mate, because what is hard is when as a commander, when you're patrolling, you want to maintain the spacing between men because of indirect fire, because of artillery, mortars, drones, whatever the case is. So in an environment like this, I'd have 30 meters, 25, 30 meters spacing between men. And I'd be having the scouts go straight up the guts there. Then I'd have a U with my gunners on the outside so they could fire across into the kill zone where I'm walking towards the general likely enemy approach. So when he's saying bunching up, he's worried about his soldiers breaking that 25-meter spacing. So they're coming in like that because they're getting a little bit complacent. They're more watching what's going on. They're losing track of the guys and their spacing. They're bunching up to, say, 5 meters. You get 3 men in a 5 meter, that's when I'm going to drop my RPG or whatever, try and take 3 of you guys out. So just a footnote.
And the echo of explosions.
Hey, fan of Spuds Bras. Oh, you got, is there other lives going on, are there? I didn't know. I was going to go live last night, but I had power drums, so I've just gone live 24 hours later. Welcome, everyone that's come in. I noticed a spike there for a second. I'm just going to give some commentary on some Ukrainians clearing some Russian positions. Ask me any questions you want. I've heard that. That's artillery. That's what it sounds like.
Що?
I ran out of McDonald's fries.
The fighters continue to move forward, carefully monitoring the situation around them. Another explosion erupts dangerously close to the group.
Пацани, давайте мені зворотній зв'язок. Я не розумію, що у вас відбувається. Той, хто без радійки контролить, той, хто на радійці, дає на мене інфу.
Ще один. Що?
He shit himself. You can tell by his voice. Holy fuck, drone!
Давай краще, краще, пішли.
Бери гранату вже. Кавун, бери гранату вже.
Давай, рух, пішли.
Yeah, that's right, Jamal. Is microdosing streams helping?
The Ukrainian
I'm
military
dealing with
is
a
firing
fight,
on
a
enemy
fight issue
positions.
with my dickhead neighbor. With your neighbor? Fuck the neighbor. Just tell him what's up or flog him.
One of the fighters throws a grenade into the Russian dugout.
Крию. Пацани, там ветки трещать. Обережно, дивись вперед, проблема.
There is constant communication with the command post, which closely monitors everything happening on the battlefield.
Надо посадити птичку.
Мінуснули якихось.
По 4-5
Yeah, especially if it's your neighbor. You know, if he doesn't want to work it out with you, then fuck him, you know.
Рух.
The advance continues. There is constant machine gun fire and grenades being thrown.
Let's go. You need to go more aggressively. You need to be moving forward quicker. You need to give the initiative. Go. You have a medic up the back coming, and boys are dropping, you just keep moving forward. Go.
Пацани, старайтесь сильно там не зациклюватися і продовжувати, бо вже починають роботи.
Ну йдем, ні? Пошли. Крий. Бігом. Все, нора. Стою. Та там далі.
Кавун, акуратно, скіт над вами, скіт над вами.
А що? Що це було? Ой, над нами прям, над нами. Та я розумію, його може бути, та не йди до мене. І скіт.
Yeah, but you could tell
І ще один
you
прийшов.
can get rid of that before you assault up the guts like that. Before, if you're worried about landmines like that, you just drop artillery mortar fire on your position. So as you're moving forward up the tree line, you start walking mortar fire and artillery fire, say 100 meters in front, and that
One of the
usually takes
Ukrainian
out
soldiers
any
was
type of
injured
booby
after a
traps
drone dropped explosives.
or any type of landmines.
Є фішка. Не
They
підходь.
put a salt sticker on today, mate, and I can stay here. Oh, excellent, bud. That's mad, mate.
Це наша чи ні?
And when you walk an artillery fire up 100 meters in front of you like that, you can use it as cover. Because they're in cover. As you're moving up, they're getting smashed. By the time they pop their heads up to see what the fuck's going on,
Постарайтеся
You're right.
почистити,
You're right on 'em.
постарайтеся почистити, і все, і далі діємо по плану, надаємо собі допомогу і куримо. Треба швиденько доробити, знімати звідти на.
Проходь, кавунчик. Держи.
that's artillery.
Кавун, обережно. Чуєш?
The soldier throws another grenade into the Russian trenches. Then machine gun fire immediately follows.
Попав? Накинь ще одну.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous, Frank.
Два скида. Пацани, крийте небо! Проходь. Кавун, проходь сейчас. Кавунчик, я тебе... Ой, блядь, кажу, кавун, пістолет, проходь сейчас. Я впівіхав, пацанов.
Не проблема.
Що? Я впівіхав, пацанов залетів.
Да?
Ну да, походу.
Bang, hit was a bit of shrapnel.
An operator was injured by the nearby explosion. But despite everything, the positions were cleared. The enemy was defeated. The fighters successfully secured the area and completed the mission.
A piece of shrapnel usually coming at you subsonic, so the same speed as a handgun, about 400 meters per second. That shrapnel will hit you about 400 meters per second. So, he should be playing music with that music when he's in combat. Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Кто в доме? Выходите на улицу. Фильтративные идеи. Если никто не выйдет, мы начнем штурмовать дом. Trained enemy reconnaissance men are effectively operating in the Pokrovsk direction, collecting valuable information about the Ukrainian armed forces logistics. They also direct artillery and drones at important targets of the Ukrainian defenders. That is why the fighters of the Rubish Brigade were tasked with finding and eliminating such saboteurs. Ukrainian soldiers have to carefully inspect every house and every room where a Russian soldier could be hiding. Покажите. Кто-то есть еще в доме?
In some places, fighters encounter civilians. They check their documents and briefly interrogate them.
Почему не уезжаете? С какой целью? С какой целью вам быть здесь? Они приедут, заберут. Где фотография? Вы знаете, что где-то здесь шкерится противник?
The civilian is asked about a Russian soldier reportedly hiding nearby.
Не слышали? Видели кого-то? Нет. Это я вот в этом видел их последний раз. Скажи.
However, he knows nothing and last saw the Russians near the bomb shelter about 4 days ago.
Было двое. Когда это было? Дня 4 назад. А где, можете показать? Вот прямо идете, как раз вы... Ага, да, подвал, да, какой-то? Да. И в гости не заходили? Нет. Сколько здесь гражданских живет на улице, не знаете? 8 человек.
The man says that there are still 8 people of different ages living on the street.
Молодые есть? Молодые.
A group of soldiers checked the basement that the civilian had mentioned, but found no one there. Soon after, however, they encountered the enemy.
Что говоришь? Руки, руки, чтобы я видел! Руки подними, блядь!
The Ukrainian military offered him a chance to surrender, and the Russian apparently agreed. The soldier ordered him to raise his hands and walk forward. But immediately, shots and explosions erupted.
Гранат, прикинул. Выходи, сука! Жить будешь, блядь!
The Ukrainian soldier again urges the Russian to surrender, telling him it's his only chance to survive. He is told to raise his hands, but the Russian seems reluctant to obey the orders. The Russian is told to follow the voice, but then he disappears. It seems that the occupier decided to try his luck. Ukrainian soldiers fire toward partially destroyed buildings where a Russian soldier could be hiding.
Wow.
Heavier weapons are already being prepared for use. Shot. It is followed by machine gun fire. At that moment, the Ukrainian soldiers heard the sound of a drone nearby and quickly took cover. The fighters notice fresh blood traces left by the Russian soldier. They advance quietly, avoiding unnecessary sound. They hear someone walking nearby.
What that cut up?
And here is the visual contact. The Russian soldier also notices the Ukrainian group and opens fire first. The Ukrainians immediately return fire. The Russian was quickly eliminated. Mission accomplished. Let's switch to one of the units of the Special Operations Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. The fighters were conducting a special reconnaissance mission along the border when they noticed enemy movement. They quickly assessed the tactical situation and carried out a successful raid. As a result, the Ukrainian military eliminated 4 Russian soldiers.
Okay. Right. Рух на 12.
You can tell the difference with suppressed and not suppressed weapons.
Мінус лежить. Тут ще один в кущах є. Що? У нас тут двоечка.
They also found one Russian still alive hiding under a tree.
Каску снимай, сука. Поднялся. Лицом ко мне. Лицом ко мне.
Trying to lay there.
SOF fighters took his walkie-talkie away
Lay there,
and
dog.
conducted a quick interrogation.
Lucky. I would have inserted my bayonet into those
Ложись,
guys.
ебалом туда.
He's lucky.
Сколько людей здесь?
Сколько людей?
Сколько людей, сколько здесь?
Сейчас скажу, 6. Нас было 6, группа 6 человек зашли.
Когда вы...
The Russians said that there were 6 people in the group. They had entered this sector just half an hour ago.
Сколько 200, сколько 200?
200, вот один
Остальные где?
по периметру.
Позывные.
Блять.
Пацаны, идите на нас, их убираем. Поднимайся, поднимайся, поднимайся.
Once the interrogation was over, the Ukrainian soldiers tied up the prisoner's hands and took him to their position.
Можно сигареты взять?
Шутно.
Generally AKMs, AK-47s, M4s,
Закинул нахуй.
looks like AR-15. I think they're
When
using
asked what was he fighting for, the Russian replied that they were fools for fighting Ukrainians, whom they once considered a brother
42s
nation.
machine guns.
We wonder what he was thinking
I
before
think I've seen
deciding
a
to go
few
kill
Mag
his so-called
58s.
brothers. In any case, one more prisoner to be exchanged.
Что сказать?
Вечер в хату, господа арестант.
Вечер в хату, господа арестант.
Having reached Ukrainian positions, the Russian soldier was told to take shelter in a dugout with other captives.
А сколько мне лет? А сколько мне лет? 21. А пошел я в армию 19. Знаешь почему? Потому что вы пришли к нам.
Это понятно.
Это понятно. А почему вы пришли? Ты сколько взял?
The Russian was wounded, so he was provided with first aid. Another reminder that even in war, Ukrainians remain human.
Ну, есть. Кое-что ему поможет, что это есть.
That's a good point.
Good
point. XF.
У меня еще один есть, дружище. Я спасаю тебе жизнь. Только дыши, не умирай.
Oh shit.
The Ukrainian
What'd I
troops
do?
also
What'd I do?
intercepted enemy radio communications. The Russians were trying to find out what had happened to the rest of their unit and why no one was responding. Soon enough, they learned.
Yeah, good mate. Good XF.
Не хотят, видимо, нахуй. Вот так и что там пару раз вышли на связь, стриме уже.
The Ukrainian soldiers continue to heroically defend their homeland. Every mission is intense and dangerous, with lives constantly at risk.
Hey, that's enough, mate. All right, so I'll go to this other one. Let me just check it out for a sec. So there must have been other lives going on, eh? I didn't check it out, so. Hang about. Hey, Woodsy, how are you, mate?
Today, we're going to be breaking down some heartbreaking footage Ukrainian Special Forces just released. In the footage, a team of Ukrainian Special Forces can be seen
Except I think the army is too woke at the moment. I think there's too much politics within the military at the moment, and people don't want politics in the military. They just want to be able to do their mission. They want to be able to have a higher standard. They want to make sure the guys next to them are capable and are tested. So it is a sad state of affairs, mate.
traveling downriver on a boat when they're suddenly ambushed by Russian special forces positioned on the side of the river. And as you guys saw a little bit of in the intro, all hell breaks loose. But that's not all I have for you in this video. First, I'd like to take a stroll to the Donetsk region of Ukraine, where a Ukrainian soldier almost loses his head in a ridiculously close-range gunfight. Recon troops of the Ukrainian Azov Brigade were clearing a small village when suddenly a Russian soldier hiding in a shed opened fire and just barely missed the head of one of the Ukrainians. The recon team then mag dumps the shed until the Russian soldier stops firing, at which point they surprisingly start talking to the Russian, telling him that if he surrenders, they won't kill him. And thankfully, after a few minutes of talking, the Russian soldier crawls out of his hidey hole and surrenders.
Бессмертный сюда пришел вообще. Вставай быстро! Быстро вставай! Ноги целые? Быстро заходи в дом. Быстро! Сейчас помощь дадим. Давай заползай. Ползи.
На улице есть кто-то? Нет.
Быстро, быстро заползай, потому что кровь течет. Нужно тебе быстро помощь надать. Говори, где тебе ранение?
Not only did the recon team keep their word and
It's
let
still a
him
feud,
live,
Jamal.
but the Russian soldier had been shot multiple times in the engagement. So the Ukrainian soldiers provided life-saving medical aid to the Russian and evacuated him from the combat zone, which is something you will never see Russian soldiers doing for Ukrainians.
Садись в карету. Жопой туда. Нет, for speed, Мосфарда, Щербиновка. Погнали. Удачи.
But on to what you clicked on the video for. If you've enjoyed the video so far, don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out the Patreon link down below for loads of exclusive, uncensored combat footage. A group of Ukrainian special forces were on a dangerous combat mission in Crimea. They were traveling downriver on a heavily armed boat when things took a turn for the worse. Unfortunately, a team of Russian special forces had set up an ambush along the side of the river, waiting for the Ukrainians to arrive. As the boat came around the corner, the Russians opened up with overwhelming machine gun fire, tearing through the Ukrainians and their boat.
That's terrifying.
Multiple Ukrainian soldiers were hit in the opening moments of the engagement. Thankfully, those who weren't hit were able to return fire, somewhat suppressing the enemy, and the driver instantly reacted to the situation by backing the boat out of the ambush zone, likely saving the lives of everyone on board. Once they were out of the kill zone, everyone jumped into the water and made their way to land for cover. The wounded stayed in the shallow water near the boat, while those who could fight went farther inland and prepped a counter ambush in case the Russians made the terrible choice of pursuing them downriver. Meanwhile, the team's medics quickly got to work patching up those who were wounded by the boat. Thankfully, the Russians didn't chase after them, and the team was able to quickly load back onto the boat and head back to base.
They got lucky.
The fate of the soldier with the camera is sadly unknown, but judging from the footage, it doesn't look great. And it's honestly a miracle that any of them made it out of this ambush alive. Thank you guys for watching again. Hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
All right. Wow.
The Army. Every day, infantry, mechanized, motorized infantry, and mountain assault units repulse the Russian invaders in heavy battles. They conduct lightning-fast assault attacks, chasing the enemy from our land. We have collected the top 30 best attacks by Ukrainian soldiers. Write your impressions in the comments and subscribe to our channel to get more exciting content.
Mr. Rando, just subbed you. Big fan of Sarge, actually. Oh, cheers, brother. I appreciate your XRF. Cheers, man. Thanks for saying that. 79 now. I'll check your page out, mate. I'll go over and have a look. All right, what have we got going on here? Trench warfare. Looks like we're having engagement. 5, 10, 15 meter engagement. Trenches look like they have a 45 9-degree turns every 10 meters. This is the type of trench warfare you want to fight in. This is where you need a shotgun. This is a great trench clearer. Hey, how's Fish? How are you, brother?
Живые все! Я его снял!
Просуваємося, просуваємося. Забрав правий вверх.
Right on dawn.
Вісім вверхи.
Я готовий.
Best time to fight. Let's
У
go.
мене чисто. Боксер, проходь.
Love the smell of black powder early in the morning.
Граната своя. Плюс один. Плюс.
Plus. I think that's every time they get a KIA in their scopes, they're letting out KIA, because when you're in a firefight and you're in the engagement and the contact, you're always yelling out, communicating how many dead enemy you've killed, so the commander can get an idea of how many more we got to go.
Впереди, вперед.
Кінець траншеї, рухайся.
Продовжуємо рух. Рухаємо. Є бліндаж наліво.
Let's go, boys.
Тримай ще одну. БК.
Ammo, right? They hit ammo. You don't know what the fuck's in there. Anything could come running out.
Мінус. Є, що живе? Червоний. Проблема. Не викрили КП. Там мінус, зірвало. Підходимо.
Here's the commander. One throws grenade, one goes in after grenade. Hurry the fuck up. What are we doing up there? Trying to get control.
Шеф плюс один. Передай. Контроль прямо.
Bang.
Є, не бачив його. Мінус. Красава.
He dead.
Плюс. Чітко в бійницю зайшло. Артія, за тобою. Беру право, ліво вверх. І ще один бліндаж. Ще один бліндаж.
Зуб, контроль там.
Ліво? Тримай. Пішла ще одна.
Ще одну.
Big spider.
Тихо там, киша.
Let's worry out. Jack,
Давай.
Продюсер.
you give me a raspberry drink?
Даю термобар, відходь.
Huh?
Відходи, контролю.
Хорошо. Проходимо, давай.
Та там всьому щось там хтось і був. Сховайся. Туда їх. Не заходь. Давай. Тримаю. Укриття. Граната.
You see how hard it is to clear these trenches?
Хорошо.
Зліва вогонь, парні, прикрийте зуби ярки! Спокійно. Прикрийте їх, парні, вогонь! Правіше від тебе. Плюс. Через право заходити. Арть! Шкіт! А, живий? Питаю, живий? Так. Цілий? Можеш отвигай! Давай. Вон они! Где?
Літак 112.
In a situation like this, when the guys get hit from the front and they get bogged down, it's hard to keep the guys motivated to keep pushing forward through that fire. But it's essential that you do, because you've got to keep regaining the initiative. You need to keep that initiative. You need to keep them on the back foot. You need to keep pushing. So when a man goes hit, you can't just let everything stop from there. You got to keep pushing forward. And when you can't push forward, then you make something happen. Is it by everybody starting the fire so they get their heads down so you can start pushing? But you always got to push. You can't get bogged down like that.
Крийте! Подтягуйся! Саня, диви оружием туда постоянно.
Іди до їх, ні.
Кабан, крий, я запакую. Що ти думав? Думаєш, я ж ти здох. На, прости, я отойду.
Ладно, не трать бика.
Так. Где вход? Где вход? Стой. Вон вход с той стороны. Пацаны, чтоб меня не... Я понял. Давай, я захожу туди. Наш! Кабан, жди, крой!
There you go. Just shot a cannon there.
Поешь, урод. Вау! Ой, ебать! Пожар, ты там... Хорош!
Ходите туда.
Стріляють, бомблять.
Ванька своє уже отбегал.
Як вони воняють.
Вылазь! Оп! До побачення! Доброго вечора, ми бабуїни. Кабан, двері з пулемета! блиндаже. Брониками заложили двери.
Димба!
I think they are, Jamal.
Да есть, а? Стреляем, на. Отходим, сейчас жестко. Вау!
Він мені накидає!
Тихо, він каже, не стріляйте. Що, надумав вилазь, чи ні? А? Виходь. Виходь. З поднятими руками. Ще вище. Тихо. Курить будешь?
У меня есть. А вы тут?
Не, давай без лишних движений.
Заходи в блиндаж.
Только давай без дурости, окей? А то он, смотри, будешь со своими кентами, он рядом лежать.
Ну что, видали? Да, все позиции забрали. Документы у тебя есть?
Нет, документов с собой нет.
Ты раненый, кажу?
I wouldn't trust him, bro. I would have him
Ну,
tied up.
нормально,
I'd fucking
Течешь сильно, не?
Нет,
take everything off him.
кость не задет, вы пошевелили.
Что, пацаны, подмотаете его, чтобы не умер? Вон, а твои друзья сдаваться не хотели. Пришлось их подорвать.
Есть,
Аккуратно.
I hope some.
Место. Давай, подорву. Закрывай.
We really have our own version of drones, of Reaper drones. And not as many.
Болит? Да. Терпи. Братишка, подавляй огонь, там все наши работают здесь.
Good shot. Good throw. What the fuck was that? That was like a block of C4. Yeah, it's a bit bigger than a grenade. That was an airburst mortar round.
Nico, boy! Подходим, Nico, boy! Я! Плюс! Пора отдыхать!
I'll be back in a sec. I'm just going to grab something.
МК немножко вниз, ствол!
Здорово. Рэм,
Давай заводь.
классная татуха.
Я пришел тебя, чтобы звать.
Сейчас все буде, мужчина, сейчас все буде.
Там, по-моему, 120-очка.
Рембо, давай, держися.
Да, мужчины, я пошел сказал, что хочу быть Марсом, только потому, что чтобы быть дальше на этой линии фронта. Я еще ближе стал.
Братан, я вообще минометчик, не мозги.
Собрались, походу, все, кто хотят быть подальше.
Это точно.
Вот.
Медики,
Марсмен раз, Маркмекс 2, медик.
Минометчик.
Ну.
Сюда, сюда! Сюда! Назад!
All right, what do we got here? So like he just got fragged.
Я 300!
Нас там багато тисяч вже пускають. Але в курсі, що ви заходите всі дома, навіть в курсі, що ви...
Я 300!
Давай, братан, заходи. Потом подумаешь, пошли. Окна, цинкуй. Чисто.
Патроны, порох!
Give that heaps of oil. Give that heaps of oil. And my gun wants to drink the oil.
Я да. Быстрее, быстрее! Давай сюда, уходим, уходим. Нормально? Надо буде вернуться ще раз.
We love Spud.
Назад, назад, вставай. Давай, давай, давай. Стоп, стоп, открывай, открывай. Скільки всього? Быстрее, быстрее.
A lot of open ground to cover here. He's covering that a bit too big a bounce for my liking. I'd make my men would be way more disciplined than that. And now they've bunched up in the same spot. As you're running over fire and movement over to the position you got to take up, you got to be also eyeing off the position you're going to take up, and you've got to maintain that spacing that I was talking about earlier. Enjoy the stream, Spud. Peace out, brother.
Давай, давай, давай!
Hard going, knee deep water, muddy water. Fucking mud wine all over again.
Миша! Я кидаю направо гранату! Направо кидаю! Достань блоги, совсем!
So he's yelling at Misha, what's the matter? And he's like, I don't know, me fucking legs.
Своя! На, пидор! А?
Коробочку, прием.
I wonder if that's friendly or not. You're lucky to hit a drone like that. If you hit it, you just get lucky. And so you need a shotty. Why are they getting the flogging they are getting? I don't know, mate. I always thought that too. The big red army. I'm not too sure what's going on. I used to get into that, but now I'm sort of past that now. I just like to commentate and watch what's going on in the trenches, you know. These boys don't care about politics. They're just worried about what their mission is, and I just like to see how these guys on both sides are executing, what type of experience they have.
Сепар, що справа?
Справа вход.
Летить щось?
So they're pretty fucking close. Hey, Ramo, how are you, brother? Thanks for popping in, mate. Hope you're having a good Saturday evening, cunt.
Там чисто.
Make sure you check every little nook and cranny.
Закинь нормально. Закинь
Because they can dig into the bed. Like I'd dig in sideways too and sleep inside the wall of the. No more warnings. No more warnings. One warning. If they don't come out, then bang grenade. Don't fucking get into a debate match with them. Yeah, flog that cunt. Flog him.
Броню скидай! Пускай скидывает броню, у него граната броней. Раздевайся, куда твои убежали? На позицию.
Where'd your friends go over there?
Ну смотри, если соврал.
Пытаешься сзади нас за блиндаж. Там есть еще.
Что за блиндаж? Там кто-то оставался? Вон, нора. Сзади на 6 нора.
Не, я бля буду, там внимание.
Мы знаем ваши будут. Сколько у вас людей на той позиции было? Сколько? А сколько убежало отсюда туда? Трое?
То есть там человек 10.
Что у вас есть из
Got a cat on his back.
Какое здесь есть
Got a
вооружение?
cat just hanging out on his back. Oh well, if it's cold, mate, at least he's warm.
Сколько там бойниц есть?
RPKs, there you go. That's what machine guns are using. RPKs, they're a good machine gun.
Сейчас будет дрон работать, скорее всего.
All right, here we go. Next one. Bakhmut. Now, there's some horrible fighting in Bakhmut. Get back, you mutt.
Да. Давай вправо уходим. Давай! Давай, бежим!
Don't follow one of each other. You can't follow each other. You got to spread out. Maintain that spacing. Use trees as your cover as you're using your line of sight to run up. Trying to use those trees as your cover. Hit the ground. That's it. Get in the trench. Now, as a commander, he assesses. Now gives missions, fire missions, and statements to his troops around him. Now he needs to move forward. Bang. Let's go. We're here, cunts. Let's go. Yeah, while these boys are firing, there should be boys moving up on the right flank. See, keep the distance. He's saying, keep the distance, cunt. If a grenade or a mortar comes in here, we're all fucking dead. You got to maintain that 20 meters, lad. That's what he's saying. Move in pairs, he's saying. Move in pairs. So one guy shoots, one guy moves. One guy shoots, one guy moves. They're like a 40mm grenade launcher. They're like a Eastern European version of a 40mm grenade launcher. Or an M203, if anyone knows what they are. That's it. Come on, move forward. Tree to tree, move forward, he's saying. Come on, let's go, move forward. This is when you have a stalemate. Like, this is where you need machine guns, and you can move forward under machine gun fire. You get two machine guns on the flanks, firing across in an X, and then you have the boys move up with inside that X. With lane tactics, that's it, crack. See, even his boss is going, move forward, move forward. The enemy's retreating. You got to chase these cunts up. Don't let him retreat. You can't let him retreat. Let's go, move forward. That's what he's saying. If they were Australians, you wouldn't have to say that because they'd understand. We've got to move forward because that's all we ever do is practice. Everyone knows you've got to move forward. We can't stay where we are. The longer we stay here, the longer chance you got of being killed. We've got to move forward. Even if it's scary, you got to move forward. Of liberation of the Anchorage and the Bakhmut sector has been posted online. So this is some sort of... So these are like the top 30 Ukraine, I think, defending their position or attacking. Soldiers of the Mine Platoon, the 2nd Company, the 2nd Assault of the 3rd Battalion, Even under destroyed outbuilding, Ukraine soldiers found the enemy burrows with ammunition, some of which occupiers hiding in places. Okay, so they're dealing with civilians and enemy, just to change it up. So you're going to go into one house, could be a bloke that owns a place, old Uncle Tom, and you go in the next house, a couple of Russians. Loaded with the capture liquidated. So they caught them all in the end.
Давайте быстрее. Оттягуйте його. Оттягуйте.
Теремич, потягнете, прикриєте, щоб ми закрили.
Давай.
You can see why, as soldiers, we train a lot in strength and cardiovascular. See how there seems to be a theme here. Faster, speed. And then you don't need to do that like in the boxer, it's for 5 minutes or 3 minutes. These guys have to maintain this all day. So that's why our training in the military is so vigorous, and it's so over like a different bunch of types of terrains, whether it's in the gym or cross-country or triathlon training. Because you can see, look, they've all got packs on, they're moving through shit environments, and at any time you just got to sprint for your life. And then you might get bogged down and you got to sprint for your life. And this could happen all fucking day. So I'm just trying to give you an idea of what these guys are going through as they're moving through here, and the things that they've got to think about and how hard it is, because they don't know when they're going to stop. You might have a mission objective. We're going to get to this village or this house and we're going to stop there. But then you see the enemy on the run, on the back, and you're not going to stop. You need to keep moving forward because you got them pushing back. So you got to make calls on the move. There's a stalemate playing chess. Australian, I think, soldiers have perfected trench warfare. If that was us in there, we'd roll up. We perfected living in trench warfare. Even with thermal drones, you're not going to see Australians living in the trenches from the way that we live in them. But you have to be disciplined. And you've got to be able to make sure everyone can communicate at any time. So you got to think through that communication status. How are you going to do that without people coming out of their fighting bays and exposing their positions? How are you going to communicate, especially at night?
Пройди прямо.
Fucking the dead Russian there. Yep. You got to make sure you check them. And when you roll them over, you got to grab a piece of rope, take 10 meters away, and then roll them over with a piece of rope so that they're not holding a grenade or they're booby trapped underneath. Especially what they like to do, they'll stick the aerial of a radio out and have it under their chest. So when you roll them over, you think you've got a radio, but it's a grenade. Weapon cache.
Що там?
Я хотів Польщу на клубніку, а не всю цю.
Зараз тобі в кабачок залетить. Типичная донбасская.
Okay, so these guys are Ukrainian guys holding a position in the woods when they start to get attacked by Russians. So these guys are going to be holding their positions, defending. There you go, artillery. When artillery comes in like that, that's a sign to me straight away. We're going to get hit with artillery, then we're going to get hit with an assaulting force. Because you always soften the trenches up with indirect fire. Always soften the trenches up with mortar and artillery. Because you might grab a few blokes that are ill-disciplined sitting in the trench, bang. See, look at that. That landed right on the trench edge, that shell. Yeah, give me an F-18 Tomcat and let me loose. That's right, bro. F-18 Tomcat will fucking plow this field up. No hiding.
Бутылку нам чуть продырявили где-то. Осторожно.
Getting close.
Прийняли, плюс у мене... ГПшечка заряджена. Якщо що, то буду цинкувати. FPV, мужики, FPV!
The frack attack. Yeah. Hey, Aussie Rick.
Вон, полетел.
I don't know whether it's going to have a shotgun as a secondary or a try. over their back, and they just pull the shotgun out just to take out drones.
Слава Богу.
That's close. Artillery. That's artillery. Trying to soften the line up.
Сказал бы, что не нравится, но что-то в этом есть.
I don't say I like it, but there's something about it. What do you think about the situation? He's just like, it's fucking hot.
Самое подходящее слово.
Worst thing you can do is stay still in an artillery fire attack, but that you've got to move forward. I flown and don't trust. Well, I know it's classified. You okay? What's the matter? Huh? You need a hand? You need a hand? This one says battle for the railway in Bakhmut, so they're fighting for a particular railway. So this is going to be to do with their admin and their main supply line. So they're trying to. It says there they're trying to fight the Russians that have guarded themselves along the railway line. So they're trying to fight, dislodge the Russians out of the positions along the railway.
Вилкоп стрибай, вилкоп. Занял ему окоп. В тур запускали, походу. Не-не-не, леска.
Це не Сашко був.
Посунься ще трошки, Гаррі.
Живий? Да.
That's right, Jamal. Of course, so definitely. No other choice sometimes, but yeah.
Цілий? Цілий?
It landed right in fucking front of that gun. Yeah, I'm fine. Where'd that hit? Right in front of my fucking lunchbox.
Это...
Gas masks, here we go. They're about to drop CS gas mortars or something like that through the line. It's a good way to get people out of the trenches, but you wouldn't get Aussies out. We've got our gas masks ready to go in our top 3. Even if you want to try nerve, blood agent, we're ready to go, cunt.
Давай, рух. Скид!
I'll just comment on that last comment there, Frack. Can't say I've ever seen a coward from the Australian guys run ever, but I have had one soldier that admitted to me that he was a coward and he was scared for his life and he couldn't leave the hardened accommodation where we were living, like it was like a protected space where we could sleep sometimes, and he wouldn't leave that because he thought the minute he left, the rocket was going to come in and going to kill him, and he lasted like 3 weeks and I had to send him home. But I found out before any hard life or death situation got involved with him, I found out about him and I fucking sent him home. So I have had a coward amongst the men, but he was found out in the first 13 days. I found out he was not made for war zones, and I had him out of there within fucking 20 days. I had him out of that war zone and posted. I don't like how the rich kids of the leaders of Ukraine are partying while some young men have no choice. But yeah, dude, same story though. That's a story. That's the same story of the ages of conscription when it comes to rich kids. Same story, different country, different generation, same shit. All right, that's why I just thought I'd just share that. G'day, McSteamy Kettle Face. How are you, brother?
Давай помогай нас. Поменяй його, поменяй. Тихо. Кассет.
Про те, що змога, отвечаю. Ми йдемо штурмувати, бо у нас буде контакт. Там по чуть-чуть йдуть легкі, ми їх перевіряємо без стрільби. Коротше, зняв такий екшен.
Just says Ukraine soldiers about to storm Russian trenches. Let's go. This is what you call controlled aggression. Controlling your aggression. And using it methodically to attack. You're saying put your hands up and get the fuck out.
Броню знімаємо, я сказав. 2-300 бачу. Руки, покажи. Пацани, побачу гранату, я... Нету гранат, вообще нету, ничего нету. Пацани, там походу хтось є. Давай. Я заходжу.
She won't. Hey, g'day, see this? How are you, brother?
Там тоже есть. Запад. Я кину гранату.
Are we ready? Do we have satellite and drone coverage? We put a shell on the moving infantry. They're hiding. Good job. Good job. The first one's done. Yeah, he's clutching his head. He climbed into the pit and he is clutching his head. You see them? Yes. Grenade!
Oh, right in the hole.
He threw it away.
No, he threw it out.
He threw it away, bitch. He's throwing the grenade back, bitch. Can you eliminate him carefully? Yeah, sure. Come on, come on. Throw it onto him. Or... But it's dangerous. No.
Oh, Trees see this.
Done. He's going to die. Did they kill him?
I understand, Frank.
Wait. Yeah, done. Cargo 200.
На одного заїбачили, і далі були чути крики. Чути крики – це десь метрів 100, може, 150.
Мангус, ту сторону праву повстріє. Праву сторону. Стань праворуч, там займи позицію, понял?
You're just talking about which positions they should use to go up and attack.
Кола. Продвигаємось. Агроном. Туда. По тропинке. Троє, четверо. Да, вони попадали, біжать. Вибігло троє, четверо.
Fuck.
Ми вроді
That was a bit excessive. Russians are scattering instead of sitting there and trying to hold their position. But they're running to the Ukrainians. There you go. Firefight from what's that? 2 meters away.
Права сторона!
McSteamy kettle face, mate. I would have said before 2020 or however long ago when they invaded, I would have said they were. The Russian Spetsnaz, the special forces are very good, but their general soldiers, I think they've killed most of them all. They've lost over 600,000 or 700,000 soldiers, so they're using conscriptions and conscripting people from prison and places like that. So, and from what I've seen from watching and following and some guides from Moscow, their training regimes is that their training is very little. And they get lied to a lot on what to expect in their training. So they're not very well prepared. They're not very well backed. They're not very well equipped. They're left for dead a lot. So I don't know. It's a really hard one. I'd like to say yes, but I think the Ukraine's better trained now because they've got a lot of Western guys like myself that have had experience in other Western armies, then gone over there and they're starting to train their recruits up in these fighting forces. That's why they seem a lot more organized here now than the Russians are. And that's another thing, Wagsy, is the Russians are avoiding conscription and leaving and going to Thailand. I heard that from another guy I used to know from another channel I used to go and hang out with. And he lives in Malaysia, and he said that, or Thailand, and he said that there's a lot of Russians defecting from Russia because they don't want to get conscripted up into the war. Well, push forward, that's all you'll ever hear. Push forward. But if they're not trained well, and I'm not too sure, it's hard to do that. It's hard to push forward under fire. It really is. Yeah, I like that. Whenever that someone throws a grenade, you yell grenade so everyone knows to get down. In case you miss throw.
Let's spread out at once. To the right, flank to the left. To the right, to the left.
The group Podyagi sent a watchman to meet you. Do you copy?
Go 10 meters ahead of us. And eliminate everything on the left. Got it?
Where is your first one?
We're moving parallel. I'll show you where the first one is.
Got it. Let's move slowly.
Jack!
Now we're going to move parallel to the armed vehicle.
Was he looking at the window or something? Hang on, I was just my dog out.
Left flank.
Guys, directly ahead at 12 o'clock.
I'm empty. Tell the guys under Giria's cover, go up to the dugout and throw a couple of grenades in.
Закидывайте туда пару гранат.
Got it?
I'm empty. Need to be replaced. I'm empty. Need to be replaced.
Got it. Are we already without APC and tank support? I'm covering.
Надо брать его под огневой контроль, хуярить и подходить. Движение с огнем, движение. Заходите, заходите. Цинкуем расстрелом. Марио, гранат. Есть. Убил. Хорош. Где баран? Хорош. Защищаем полностью. Ну что, ты выходишь или нет? Если выйдешь, будешь жить. Нету за***рем. Короче, зачищаем его, нам заходим. Пацаны, нам надо проходить, потому что нас закроет миномет. Стреляй, заходи. Быстрее! Рассредоточились по посадке.
Come on, spread out, distance. Come on.
I'm going.
Look, next to your position.
Come on, guys.
Grenade.
Hey Charlie, how are you? Never had Ukraine war auto dubbed by AI.
Come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Йдемо на вогневу позицію, займаємо позиції і буде працювати по русні. Надію. Давай. Посел, друзі. На нічному полюванні було демілітаризовано 17 вагнерів. Це вбиті або тяжко поранені зеки. Як ви могли бачити, та тварини спокійно пересуваються посадками, нічого не бояться. Дякую бійцям із Міністерства добрих справ за пророблену разом роботу. До зустрічі.
Well, that's an AK-47 he's got.
Все, отходь.
.60mm mortars, a little 60mm, nice and light. Fire them out to about 3Ks.
Yes, I'm coming. Get down, Mirren. Mirren. RPG, I see it. Easy, easy, bro. Are you covering? Go. Go, go. I'm shooting from here. Go. Come on, go. Here. Retreat, retreat. Retreat. He's covering.
Infantry is the backbone of the army, and thanks to such heroic assault attacks, the armed forces of Ukraine can not only restrain, but also repel the enemy. Glory to the heroes.
Well, that's that for that. I've got a big storm coming, so I'm a bit worried about the power surging again. So I did buy some surge protectors, just to protect our internet and that again this time. So, hey, it's hard to remember a nurse over there. Her name is Jessie Stevens. A nurse over where? I know the Germans in World War One had artillery that could fire 128 Ks into Paris, which is crazy. They must have been rail guns. They wouldn't have been artillery pieces, because even the artillery we have now, we have this particular round called a rocket-assisted round, and it can punch it out to about 90 kilometers. So 128 Ks into Paris, that must have been like massive big rail guns or something like that. Oh, Afghan. So there was a nurse in Afghan called Jessie Stevens. No, I can't say I never heard of no nurse called Jessie Stevens. How'd you go for Remembrance Day at Just Us? No, I took an easy one, brother. Huh? Yeah, I don't know who the fuck it is. I know Afghan, yeah. No, I had a quiet day on Remembrance Day, bro. Anzac Day is the one I like to celebrate. If I was in Brisbane, I might have gone down to the Shrine of Remembrance. But, nah, Remembrance Day, I usually have a bit of a quiet one. Nothing too crazy. My big celebrations is Anzac Day, really. But, yeah. I watch all the speeches, though. I watch like what the defence speeches are. I watched... it was a shame that we don't have the same patriotism from the commander, you know, from the Prime Minister through the Department of Defence, through the Defence Minister, down to the Chief of Defence Force. It'd be good to see a nice patriotic like link with chain of command through there. Huh? And so it's sad to see. I like watching, like, you know, what the Secretary of War had to say, what the Vice President and what the President say, how they sort of had a special story to talk about, Medal of Honor, any veterans that had sort of gone through it and had some physical scars of war. You know, the fact that they tell their stories and they're patriotic and, you know, the whole nation stops like that, you know, reminds me of our Anzac Day, but I still think that their Remembrance Day is like it's something special. So, but no, yeah, thanks for asking, though. Yeah, I think it was SARGE. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been those big rail guns. They were crazy. They were fucking crazy. It was huge, yeah. Bigger than the World War Germany rail guns. Yeah, I know. I didn't know they flew 128 Ks. That's fucking that's a good hit. And I bet you they could probably put the fucking thing within a 10-meter radius too, you know, for that era. I mean, when we give mortar or artillery grid references, so the grid reference is what the numbers that you give to the firing line when you're trying to give a position to get bombed or mortared or indirect fire on. So you're trying to give, and the so when you look at a map and you see all the squares, they're called grid squares, right? And so the grid references, all the lines that are coming in like this and going across your longitude and latitude, okay, and you got all your grids. So when you give a grid square, what you're trying to do is find the dot within that grid square of where you are, and then you're trying to deliver that information to the firing line so they can find that dot on a map and go find where they are, then they work out the maths of where they need to fire into that dot that you just give them. So the more numbers you can give them that grid reference, so just to like the grid square that you're in would be 100 meters by 100 meters, and that'd be a 4-digit number. And then say you wanted to get within 50 meters by 50 meters, that'd be like a 6-figure grid number. And say you wanted to get into 10 meters by 10 meters, that would be like a 8-figure grid. Then say you wanted to get into like all the way down to a centimeter, that would be like a 12-figure grid reference. So what we do is we try and work those grid references out and we give them to the line, and then that's what they use to bring in. So you can literally put around pretty close to within, 30 centimeters, within 30 centimeters of a target area that you're trying to find. And with guided, like from fast air, with guided, they can get it within a centimeter. They can guide it to within a centimeter. When they're using GPS and they get like 9 or 10 satellites to triangulate in, they're super accurate. I saw this doco. It was an awesome. Watch it. It's all about history of artillery. Yeah, no, I will. I will find her, and hopefully she will tell you her story and how we met. Okay, yeah, no worries, right? Nah, I never. Oh, is she Aussie or American? Because we never really had many Aussie female soldiers in Afghan at all, to tell you the truth. So the fact that there was an Aussie female in must have been Kandahar. So it must have been if she was in a hospital, it must have been in Kandahar because that was the only real hospital we had. We had a mock-up one in TK, but that was just we had doctors there, and they were all male. So I'm not too sure unless she was a female, unless she was an American, then she could be fucking anywhere. They had hospitals everywhere. Hey, Sergeant Crew, I'm a bit late. Hope all is well. Hey, Dribbler, how are you, brother? I saw in this doco, it was awesome. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'll catch up with that or something. Hey, you see, we got JDM, we got Jack Della Madalena. Jack Della Madalena fighting Islam Makhachev, whatever his fucking name is, in Madison Square Garden. The preliminaries fights for the UFC start at 11 a.m. tomorrow. And I'm going to, me and my young fella and my missus, we're going to buy the fight and we're going to watch the fight because we've got an Aussie fighting against Islam. Islam's coming up from lightweight from 155 pounds to 175 or 170 pounds. And our Aussie boy's the welterweight champion. He actually has the belt. And Islam's coming up from lightweight to fight him at welterweight and to take his belt. And so, and Jack is a really good striker. He can throw those looping uppercuts from different angles. He can cut you off. He's good at those looping lefts. He's fucking good to go. He keeps you out there, and his hands are good up too. His hands are really good. Like when he fires a jab, they come straight back. They don't like drop and then fire, and he doesn't fire, come back and drop. He's really disciplined with his hands. And with his right hand, when he lets that go, he doesn't waste his energy. He doesn't overreach. He just lets it go, snaps it, and it comes straight back to here. Bang! I love it, mate. I love his boxing skill. I think he's going to be she's an Aussie medic tough girl. Okay, fucking never heard of her. That's good to know. We always want tough Aussies around. Yeah, you'd have to find out what hospital she was serving in Afghan. She might have had a special skill or something, maybe. I'm not too sure. But I saw this. Yeah, so with the JDM and Islam fight, JDM's got really. I don't think his hands Islam can stand and bang with this cunt. But we all know the Dagestani wrestlers, they're fucking insane. Grew up fucking wrestling bears. And Khabib's his main wrestling coach, and we all know he's a fucking nutter when it comes to wrestling. But JDM has fucking good jiu-jitsu. And he, like I said, he's fucking stand-up, bro. He's the way he can just throw all like looping uppercuts and the way he can throw his kick up. Really, he can really throw it from a stance without showing it. And when he throws his punches, he's not moving his shoulders and over. And like he keeps his shoulders flat and relaxed. His chin's always down too. So when he's throwing them, he's really hard to hit. And so when he does extend, he's always got that shoulder just to roll it off, you know. So if someone's coming over with that right hook or that left hook to counter, he doesn't overextend. And he sort of carries his jaw here so he can just sort of brush it off. Love the way I love it. I love the way he fights, bro. He's fucking beautiful. But, you know, he's got to beat that Dagestani wrestling. But he has a guy, a wrestler and a jiu-jitsu guy in his corner that has been training with him called by the name of Craig Jones. And he's come up with a specific style of wrestling and jiu-jitsu to go against the Dagestani wrestlers, and they call it the octopus or the octopus style of jiu-jitsu or the octopus guard or something like that. 1x23, big up, Sarge. G'day, brother. How are you, mate? Fu Manchu, hello, sir. Hello, Fu Manchu. Fu Manchu. How are you, brother? It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a great one, brother. I can't wait. And just when he's throwing like this, I'm just watching how he just bang. He just throws that elbow, just bang. Oh, I've been watching the Muhammad Balil fight. I've watched it like 3 times, and then I watched MMA Guru commentate over it. I like how Jack's the underdog. I like how nobody thinks he's going to win. Everyone thinks Islam's just going to run through this cunt. When I was watching the press conference and I watched the weigh-in conference this morning, he's booed. He's getting booed. He's got no fans. He's got no fans in the crowd, but he said he loves it. He looks relaxed. And the big thing, I think, with Islam and a lot of other fighters, like, not from my opinion, just listening to like Dustin Poirier and Volkanovski and that have fought and lost, they respected him too much. And they're thinking about like when they were in the cage and they would start getting wrestled, like in a wrestling or grappling with the Dagestanis, they start thinking, oh, fuck, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Rather than thinking about his gameplay or how they're going to get out. But, yeah. Fu Man killed Peeps with clothes, love. JDM's a Perth boy. He's a mixed team. He is a Perth boy, bro. Out of Perth MMA. And I think there's a couple of guys there fighting out of Perth on the prelims on the undercard. JDM, yeah. It was a comic and a shit move. What was a comic and a shit move? Would be good to see more Australians in the UFC. We've got some good ones. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. It's been decades. When I served with her, I will try to contact her. Yeah, for sure, Frack. That'd be awesome to know, bro. But Chris Lee was the actor. Islam is moving up in weight, so has the first time fighting that weight, so it would be different. Yeah, that's what I reckon too. But he does normally sit around 170, 175, 180. So he's not going to lose much in that. But he's never been hit by somebody that's in the welterweight. And not only that, JDM has the hardest hitters hands probably in the welterweight right now. He's probably the hardest hitting pound for pound fighter in the UFC right now. Gilbert Burns has fought Islam. He's fought them all, and he said he's never been hit so hard as when he fought JDM. And that's Gilbert Burns. If you know him, he's a fucking hard cunt. He's a hard little nut. He's fought everyone. He's a good wrestler. And he said he was getting hit by a truck. Is it tomorrow? It is tomorrow, 11 o'clock in the morning, the prelims start. And you got to remember too, Jack sits at about 195. So he's actually cutting to come down to 170. Islam had to put on 9 kilos. And Jack's, so Jack's a heavier, bigger fighter. So, fuck, I can't wait. Can't fucking wait. 11 o'clock in the morning, Aussie time, yeah. So, I think Oh, geez, I don't know if that's Queensland time. If it'll be 12 o'clock WA, New South Wales, and it'll be what, 9 o'clock if you're in Perth. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, 11 o'clock in the morning, brother. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking to that Leon Edwards too, the Pommy guy fighting that Brazilian knockout artist. I'm actually looking forward to the chicks fight. I don't really like chicks fighting, but the two chicks that are fighting just happened to line up. The best pound-for-pound women fighter in the world is fighting the second best pound-for-pound. So the two best pound-for-pound fighters have lined up. So that's got the potential to be a good fight. And the Chinese chick is coming up to fight in the next division to take the second belt. And the chick she's coming up to fight, Valenka, whatever her name is, she's defending her belt for the 12th time. So she can blue. I used to kickbox. Glad I didn't. Used to kick boxes, cardboard boxes. No, no, I did it all. My dad was a martial artist growing up. You know, he was an instructor, had his own clubs. You know, I had my black belt in Wei-Shiru, which is a Japanese style karate from Okinawa. I had my black belt by the time I was 16, 17. Then I joined the infantry, and then I learned a lot of stuff once I did the unarmed combat course. I learned how to fight with weapons, and I learned how to fight with knives, and I learned how to fight with garrotes, how to fucking fight with just weapons that have no knives, that have just run out of ammunition. And then when I actually did the unarmed combat course, which is 6 weeks of just fighting from 7:30 till 5:30, 7:30 in the morning till 5:30, I started learning some Krav Maga techniques. And then I got to Wagga Wagga 2006, and I joined a boxing club. I joined Devil's Guard Boxing Academy in Wagga Wagga. And then that's when I learned the fucking science of how to move and how to keep my head off the center line. You know, I was really good at karate, but with karate, you keep your chin up a lot and you stand up a lot. And it's more of a side-on stance. Whereas boxing is more, like this. And because I'm 5'10", I'm a bit more of an inside fighter. So it was really good at teaching me how to bob and weave and how to get under that jab and work the body. You know what I mean? So I love boxing. I did that for 2 years. Fucking love that stuff, man. And then while I was at Wagga 2, did a bit of rolling. And while I was at Perth, did a bit of that. And then obviously all through my career, fucking street fighting in the pubs and being a dickhead on the piss. So Wagga Wagga, I grew up there. Yeah, man, it's a good country town. Not my type of place. It's a bit too isolated and in the sticks for me, but, well, you had to, Kapuka. Yeah, that's right. I was a recruit instructor there. So, yeah, to join the army, that's right, bro. I was an instructor there. So, if you're around 2007, the lime green citric acid VN Commodore that had the fucking sick lumpy cam in it, that was mine. Damn, you're only 5'10". I don't know why I thought you were like 6'2" or something. Sorry to disappoint you, bro. Sorry to disappoint you. I'm fucking warm. JDM6 in reach over the other fella. Yeah, he has, bro. And he knows how to use it too. You seen him today in the way offs. He's like, but yeah. But yeah, cunts. I mean, fuck, would have been going now 2 hours. I think I might have ended up there. I was the fastest runner and jumper in Wagga. Yeah, nice, man. Wagga's got some good rugby league history there, some good clubs, some good rugby league clubs there. When I was there, it's when it started getting taken over by a lot of, I think it was Somalians or Sudanese. They were bringing in immigration and they were starting to dump them in Wagga Wagga. And they were taking over some of the pubs. I know they gave them some of the army boys a bad time. I wonder how that is now there, how they've got to deal with that, or if that problem, sort of they worked their way into the community and filtered in okay, or there's still that isolation gap. But yeah, lads, I'm going to fucking love yous and leave yous. I'm probably going to go live again tomorrow to break down JDM Islam fight. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm going to head it off now. We've got a big storm coming, so I don't want to fucking have the power go out and go that way. But I appreciate you all coming in and tuning in with me, hanging around, having a chat afterwards. Take care, Sarge. Enjoy the fight tomorrow. Will do, bro. Kapuka, my dad trained there, Vietnam times. Yeah. My dad went through Kapuka too. My dad did 27 years in the army. He went through in 1978. I went through in 1995, and then I was an instructor there 2006 to 2007, 2008. I was an instructor there. All right. Fucking have a good rest of your Saturday nights. Enjoy Sunday tomorrow for those who watch the fight. Fucking bang, 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 bang. Go Jack. Go JDM. All right, guys. Fu Manchu, Frack, everybody. Love your work, Digger. Have a good one. No worries, Fisho. All right, guys. Enjoy. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm out. Peace.